Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to go through all the Smash characters and I'm going to give my thoughts on whether they're going to return or not return. Somebody has grabbed them on this particular one, the mural art, which is really nice. So yeah, we're going to go through it all. And some of these characters I'll spend some time on, some I won't because some of them are obvious to me, but yeah, let's get to it. So, somebody's put these also in order, which is fantastic. So, to be honest with you, the original 8 characters that they had pretty much locked in, I think. So, we can get Mario, absolutely going to be returning. DK, Link, Samus. Not sure about Dark Samus and Echoes, we'll come back to that. Yoshi will be. Kirby's a definite. Fox, Pikachu. So the original 8, absolutely. I don't think they'll ever not come back because they're kind of like the characters from the original game. They've pretty much been in, or they have been in every game. Seems likely. Because you got to bear in mind, the next Smash game, whatever it may be, is not going to have the same kind of roster like this one has. And yeah, I would be shocked if they do this again. Anyway, Luigi, I think is pretty much just lock-in. Can't see him not coming out. A lot of the Nintendo-owned ones, pretty much. I think Ness, Captain Falcon, and Jigglypuff are all also pretty much a lock-in. So anyone that was in the original game, all the 4 unlockable characters, I think they're pretty much guaranteed to be in the next game. I think that's just how it is. I think Captain Falcon and Ness have kind of proven that they haven't really had... No, Ness hasn't been in a game except for Smash forever, and Captain Falcon hasn't had a new game either, and then Pokemon's always popular, so why would they get rid of Jigglypuff, even though maybe you know, Jigglypuff is a good character, but you know, originally never felt like a good one. Alright, Peach. I think Peach is pretty much a lock-in. I think a lot of the Mario characters pretty much going to be in the next game. Daisy, I think so too. I think they probably won't completely eliminate the Echo vibe, or what they might do, because Peach and Daisy really don't have anything different apart from their taunts. They might just merge them into one, so the Echo fighters just become those characters. They become like a Olimar Alf kind of situation. So rather than having any kind of differences, Daisy pretty much confident. Bowser, yeah. I think you got to have the heavies, you got to have the villains. I think Bowser's pretty much guaranteed to be in there. Ice Climbers, now this is an interesting one. I don't think Ice Climbers would be left out again. I think now that the more powerful the hardware gets, the more likely things like the Ice Climbers are going to stay in the game because of the way they work with the AI. The game can obviously handle 8-player Smash, everybody playing Ice Climbers, so why wouldn't they come back? They're a Nintendo classic in the sense that, you know, sort of they've had one game, haven't they, but like the actual characters are classic Nintendo from the NES, so yeah, again, anything that's like Nintendo like that, I'm pretty confident about. Sheik and Zelda. Yeah, I don't see why Sheik and Zelda wouldn't come back again. Zelda characters very popular, pretty much. All right, let's go back to Dark Samus. I think Dark Samus will come back. Yeah, I think Dark Samus will come back. Same thing like Daisy and Peach. Dark Samus doesn't have that much difference. She does have like a different dodge mechanic, but I think if rather than get rid of her completely, if they do bring Dark Samus back, they'll just make a Dark Samus like Olimar Alf and give her the exact same rolling in the ball and stuff, and they'll just change up some of the lore for it, because I think they'd rather have the Metroid characters there than not, and if it means, you know, just having them more as like a skin than a character, I could definitely see them doing it. Obviously, the way that they're done in this game, Dark Samus does have differences to Samus, and that's like dodging and a few other animations. I'd rather they stayed as Echo Fighters. The same with Peach and Daisy. I'd rather they were separate characters, but I can still see them bringing them back and putting them into the as a separate character, but on the same slot. Dr. Mario, I don't think he's coming back. I love Dr. Mario, but I don't see Dr. Mario coming back. I think in this next game they're going to trim down some of the characters. They could make Dr. Mario just Mario, but he doesn't have Flood, so yeah, you know, it's a weird one, but I don't see him coming back. Pichu. As much as I love Pichu, I think Pichu's gone after this game. I think certain characters just aren't, you know, I think Pichu's great. I think Pichu is very unique in the fact that he is incredibly hard to hit. He's very fast. He has a cool combo game, but he is essentially Pikachu, and I think his appeal is awesome that he's back, but his appeal is not nearly on the level of Pikachu, so I don't think he'll be coming back. Falco, I think the Star Fox characters, again, at least Fox and Falco, pretty much, I can't see why they would take them out. Popular characters. Marth and Lucina, right, Marth definitely. I think, again, Marth is, you know, from Melee, he's one of the staple Fire Emblem characters. I think Marth will stay. I don't think they would ever get rid of Marth. I think Marth and Roy specifically at this point, I think they are the characters that people really like when it comes to the OG Fire Emblem characters, and I think they would remove or change other Fire Emblem characters and keep the OGs. Hence why I'm going to put Lucina in not returning. I know this character is really popular, but I've got a feeling whenever they make a new Smash game, they're going to grab potentially the protagonist from Fire Emblem Engage probably, and whatever other games have come out since then. I think they'll probably switch up the roster a bit with Fire Emblem and replace some of the current cast with different members. So I think Marth, yes, definitely. I think Lucina's, nah, she's gone. Young Link, you know what, I don't know. I think Young Link is probably not going to return. I think Young Link, Toon Link, and normal Link play very differently, and I think that's great. I really like Young Link. I think he's super fun. But I don't know. I can't see them having 3 Links. I think they'll probably go with Toon and Main Link as the main likely candidates, unless they bring in another version of Link that's maybe in Tears of the Kingdom. Ganondorf, I think he's definitely returning. Why would you get rid of Ganondorf? He's a big villain. Yeah, some people still think he's a Captain Falcon clone. Yes, he has some similar moves. He has a lot of different animations. He handles very differently. He's less and less like a clone as the games go on. I think he's great. I don't know why you would get rid of him. So yeah, keep him in. Mewtwo. You know what? I think Mewtwo would probably stay. I think there is a big following for Mewtwo. I think Mewtwo's a lot of fun. He is like the original legendary Pokemon. You know, just a really fun playstyle. People really wanted him back. I think he is, you know, as a Pokemon, I think he definitely will return. I don't see why they would get rid of him. As for Roy, I think is definitely coming back as well. He was in Melee. He's like Marth. They are like the OGs. I think he will definitely stay. However, Chrom, on the other hand, being his Echo fighter, again, Chrom might come back as, like, if they make him identical to Roy, because currently Chrom is not identical to Roy. He's got Ike's up B essentially, but they could make Chrom be identical to Roy and add him in as again the Alamar Alf. But as of right now, I don't think Chrom's coming back. I like Chrom, but I don't think he's coming back. Game & Watch at this point, in my humble opinion, I think that Game & Watch has a lot more character than many characters in video games these days. I don't know why you would ever get rid of Game & Watch. He's great. Keep him in. Meta Knight, definitely. If Sakurai is making the game, he's not going to get rid of any of the Kirby characters, so I think he stays. Pit, yeah, Pit. I think he's definitely sure. He is like the best beginner, or one of the best beginner characters in the game. He has a lot of personality. He's not one of my favorite characters, but he's definitely coming back. Dark Pit. Dark Pit's been in 2 games. He does play differently. I think Dark Pit comes back, but only as a skin for Pit. I don't think he comes back as an Echo Fighter if they choose not to do Echo Fighters. If they do Echo Fighters, yes, but I think Dark Pit comes back at part of Pit's switch set, kind of like I said, like Roy and Chrom here. But other than that, I don't think he does come back. So I think he's going to come back as an ult for him rather than an Echo Fighter. And have the identical properties and everything. So that's how he comes back. Zero Suit, yeah. I can't see why they wouldn't bring Zero Suit back. Very popular character. Plays very differently to regular Samus. You're not going to get rid of that. Wario, yeah, definitely. I think he comes back. Again, Nintendo first party characters when it's like the Mario lot, easily. Snake, no. I think a lot of the third party characters that we're going to see in this list are highly unlikely to come back again because of licensing. Not to say, again, I want to make this perfectly clear. Ultima's roster is fantastic. I don't want to see any of these characters go. But let's be real. right? You know, the game isn't going to be ginormous. You can't strike lightning twice with the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 2, can you? You know what I mean? If they did, great, fantastic. Would love to see it, but, you know, let's be real. Ike, one of the Fire Emblem characters who I do think is going to return. I think Ike is very different to Marth and Roy. I think Ike is a popular character. And out of the 3 Fire Emblem characters, being Marth, Roy, and Ike, I think they're absolutely guaranteed to be in here. But the others are a lot more tentative as to whether they will return. So Ike, definitely. Pokemon Trainer. I think Pokemon Trainer doesn't come back. And I think we get a different Pokemon Trainer. And I think Squirtle, Ivysaur probably don't come back. And I think Charizard might go back to... No, you know what? Either Pokemon Trainer comes back with different Pokemon, or it doesn't come back and none of these guys come back. I like Pokemon Trainer. I like all these 3. I don't think Pokemon Trainer is coming back in the next game. Pokemon's obviously massive. I think they're going to add in new Pokemon and remove some of the older ones. So I think Pokemon Trainer's probably out. Diddy Kong, I can't see why they get rid of any of the DK characters. Maybe K. Rool, but we'll get to that in a bit. I think he's pretty much guaranteed to come back. Lucas, I am not sure about. I err on the side of Lucas coming back, but I think the problem with the Earthbound / Mother series is there is a fandom there, and people love these characters, and I am so glad they're in the game. They're some of my favorite characters to play. I'm really just unsure. Like, I don't think Ness will ever go away. But Lucas, you know, he was DLC like Roy. They have been DLC characters before. But I have a feeling Sakurai probably doesn't want to go down that road of re-releasing old characters that people liked. So I think he's more likely to be in than not, just because they are different enough. But I don't see us ever getting another Earthbound character in the game. Sonic, probably the only third-party character that I think is definitely 100% coming back in the next game. Nintendo and Sega have a huge relationship. I think they could do some really cool stuff with stages for Sonic. Obviously, Sonic Frontiers is blown up. It's a very popular game. I think you could do a stage based on that. That'd be a lot of fun. More music would be great. I definitely see Sonic coming back, and people like seeing Mario and Sonic in games together. So, King DDD, absolutely coming back. Can't see why he wouldn't. Olimar, I think Olimar's different enough and more unique enough for him to come back. Again, a lot of characters I think will turn into Olimar, where it's like Peach Daisy will be like Olimar, where it's like Olimar Alf. But yeah. Lucario I think is gone. I think Lucario gets removed in the next game and is replaced by a different Pokemon. I think that is going to happen to a lot of the Pokemon. We've already got Pikachu in here. We've got Mewtwo in here. So those and Jigglypuff. So those are your classics. I think a lot of the other Pokemon, these mid-gen stuff, they're probably going to change up for other Pokemon. I don't see all of them coming back in. That's why I'm not sure about Pokemon Trainer. If Pokemon Trainer comes back, it'll be a different set of starters that isn't from the original. Like if it was from Gold Silver, that'd be awesome. But I think it'll be one of the newer games, and you'll get the different evolutions, and they will essentially replace Squirtle, Ivysaur, Charizard. Rob, I think, is just one of those characters. He's like classic Nintendo. Can't see why I wouldn't come back. Toon Link, unlike Young Link, I do think is coming back. I think he is very different to normal regular Link. And all 3 of them are different in this game, but I think Toon Link, even though he hasn't had a game in a while, we haven't even really seen a young version of Link in a while, because most of it's focused on Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom now, that kind of more adult Link. So yeah, unless they have a young version of Link, that's a new version, I think we will be getting Toon Link out of the 2 characters, though seeing all of them come back would be nice. Wolf, I do think Wolf's going to return. I know that Fox, Falco and Wolf have similar playstyles in terms of like their move sets and what they can do. They all have reflectors, they all have guns, stuff like that, but they all play very differently. Fox is very quick, crap jump. Falco is massively, like, one of the best jumps in the game, a bit slower, a bit more methodical, and Wolf is a very aggressive character with some really interesting moves, and I think all 3 of them will probably come back, and that will be our Star Fox representation. I don't see us getting any more unless they decide to add Crystal in and maybe replace Wolf, but I think Wolf's got a good chance. Villager, I think Animal Crossing's too big not to have Villager. I think Villager definitely comes back in this game. I can't see why not. Mega Man, as much as I would love to see Mega Man come back, again, I'm really unsure about the third-party stuff. I think we will get new third-party characters, but I think some of the older ones might not. I think Mega Man has a chance of coming back, but I'm leaning more to him not returning than returning. Because I think people want... I mean, Nintendo has a good relationship with Capcom. There's a potential for, like, maybe a Monster Hunter or something else, like a different character coming in, or even Zero over Mega Man, or both would be great. But I think Mega Man, he is very much... He feels like a Smash character. He should be in the game, but right now I'm leaning... I'm not so sure. Like, the third-party ones, you never know. Wii Fit Trainer, I think, maybe... is more likely to come back than not. Maybe gets replaced by the Ring Fit Adventure character. Maybe you have both. But I think Wii Fit Trainer is just so bizarre and so loved. I don't see why you wouldn't. Rosalina, absolutely. Like, definitely coming back. Shoo-in, really. Little Mac. Yeah, I think Little Mac comes back. I think Little Mac is very unique in how he plays. I think people really enjoy him. He is hard as balls to play, though, like, on certain stages. But he is also... classic Nintendo. Greninja. Yes, because Greninja was really popular in the anime, I believe, with Ash had one. So I think Greninja does come back. I think I'm not going to eliminate the chances of all the Pokemon not coming back, because they're obviously going to reuse some of them, maybe with different moveset. But I think Greninja is kind of cool. Like, he's very fast. Like, the ninja side of it. I think I could see him coming back. Palutena, yeah. Again, Sakurai did. Kid Icarus Uprising, I don't know why they would get rid of Palutena. Pac-Man, if... So Pac-Man is the other one where I'm like, he will come back if this game is made with Bandai Namco again. For that reason alone, which it would likely be, I'm going to stick him in there to come back. But that's only if they work with Bandai Namco, which is a big if. But I could see them doing that because they have a lot of talented developers on that team, and Sakurai is going to probably want to have a team that he knows he can trust. Assuming he even makes the next game, it could be a Smash. The next Smash game could be super different. Who knows? Robin, I think, is gone. I think a lot of the Fire Emblem characters that we currently have, I think, are going to change. I think Robin is super interesting, and I think Robin is more interesting than a lot of the Fire Emblem characters. But I think he gets changed out for somebody else, possibly the Fire Emblem engaged character that could be, you know, the whole female male thing. I think Robin goes. Shulk, I think Shulk stays. The Xenoblade games, Sakurai loves them. Assuming the same person makes them, definitely coming back. Same with Bowser Jr. Any of the Mario characters, pretty much guaranteed. Duck Hunt, yeah. I think Duck Hunt comes back again. Nintendo doesn't have to. They do have to get rights to use these characters. I know they have to get rights to use the Pokemon. But that's a lot easier to navigate than, say, the third-party stuff. There's a lot of red tape and things they have to go through. So Nintendo are going to be more willing to have more of these characters and these icons in their game from their own games. You know, Ken and Ryu. I love these guys. I think Mega Man has more of a chance coming back. So I don't think, and even if it's a fighting game, I don't think they'll come back. Ryu probably has a higher chance than Ken. I love both these characters. I think they're fucking awesome in this game. But, again, third-party characters unlikely. Cloud, absolutely not. Apparently, it is a nightmare to work with Square Enix on certain things. I don't see Cloud coming back, unfortunately. Same with Corrin. I think Corrin is gone in the next game. I think Corrin is replaced by a different Fire Emblem character. I'm not sure which, because I haven't played every single Fire Emblem game. But I think every time we get new ones, that some of the older characters are going to disappear, except for Ike Marthroy, which I think are staples in this game forever now. Bayonetta, yeah, I see Bayonetta coming back. Obviously, Nintendo funded the second and the third game. I think she's a highly popular character. She's a bit more on the adult side. I think getting Bayonetta back in Smash is kind of one of those characters is probably going to be seen as Nintendo, and Nintendo's probably going to keep publishing the game. I don't see why they'd have any issues getting the rights for Bayonetta. Inkling, abso-fucking-lutely. Inkling's coming back. Splatoon 3 is massive in Japan. We're going to finally get an Octoling, whether that's a skin or something. I think we're going to get to see that in the next Smash game. No question. Ridley, I think is coming back. I think Ridley is coming back. I think people really enjoyed having more villains in the game, more heavies, more... I mean, Ridley's evil. Like, the way he moves and all that. So I think he's absolutely coming back into the next game. No, Simon and Richter. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no to Simon and Richter. I think they deserve to be in every Smash game going forward. They are probably the most unique and most interesting characters in the Smash, in terms of the base roster at least. I think they're fantastic, and I would love to see them come back, but I feel like a lot of the third-party stuff is, you don't know until the time rolls around, and you don't know what Nintendo are going to do when the next system comes out and they make a new Smash Brothers game. What are they going to do? If Nintendo manages to get a huge amount of third parties plus their iconic characters in the next game, it could probably sell just as much as current Smash does, but as of right now, I'm not sure on the third parties, apart from a couple of them that I think have a bit more leeway. What we got here? We got King K. Rool. I think K. Rool does come back. I think, again, like Ridley, these characters were counted out. Sakurai brought them back. They are massively popular in their franchises. I know we haven't seen a Donkey Kong game with him in for a while. In fact, I was really hoping K. Rool was going to end up in Mario Strikers. But I think people love the villains. He's an incredibly goofy moveset. He is a lot of fun. I think people really enjoy him, and I could see him coming back. I'm not super confident on that one, but I think he has more chance of coming back than not. I mean, Ridley's got a much higher chance, but I think K. Rool is a lovable, goofy villain, and I think the game needs more villains still, and I think he's perfect for it. Isabelle, yeah. Isabelle's been in a couple of different Animal Crossing games. People love Isabelle, so I don't see why not. Incineroar, I think, comes back. I think Incineroar is such a unique Pokemon character, and he's a wrestler. Why not? Bring him back. Should be fun. Piranha Plant. That is an interesting one, because that is a Nintendo Mario character. Very odd one. I think Piranha Plant is one of those characters so goofy, like Duck Hunt, like Game & Watch, that I think Piranha Plant comes back. I don't know if they will use a slot. I'm kind of like, but you know what? The more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Smash needs the weird characters, and I think Piranha Plant definitely fills that. As much as I'm like, odd choice, but Joker, no. Hero, no. Banjo-Kazooie, no. I think these guys, what's this? So this is sort of Sega / Atlas. This is Square Enix. This is Microsoft. Microsoft are pretty open to playing ball, actually. I think out of the three of them, this would be the character that Nintendo would want to bring back the most, because Dragon Quest has a huge following in Japan. But obviously they don't just make the game for Japan. And I know that Sakurai probably loves every single one of these characters. I would think Banjo-Kazooie has the best chance of coming back, but as it stands right now, I'm going to say no. The gaming landscape might change massively by the time the next Smash comes out, and it depends what their relationship is like with Square and Nintendo. Sega, probably fine. Terry, I know Sakurai loves Terry. Terry's fucking awesome, but again, don't know. SNK are pretty good about letting other studios use their character. I think they would be totally cool, and I think Terry was pretty popular in this game. But because I'm not unsure when it comes to third party, I'm going to say no. Byleth, actually, I do think comes back, because still, Fire Emblem Three Houses was big and people loved it. And even when Engage comes out, and people probably forget about Byleth a little bit, I still think... Oh, we also had the other one, Free Hopes, as well. So Byleth was in that too. So that's 2 games Byleth's been in. I can see this protagonist staying in the game. And Byleth's pretty unique compared to the other Fire Emblem characters. So I see Byleth coming back. Might be switched. I mean, we might get a ton of new Fire Emblem characters, so... Min. That's a tricky one. I would say yes, because it is a Nintendo property. Wonder whether they stick with Min or whether they try somebody else. I mean, I obviously want Springman. I know, shoot me, I'm the boring guy, but I like Springman. He was my favourite character. I played the game a lot online. I think ARMS is a fucking incredible game. But Min, I'll take Min back. Min's really unique and interesting. Steve, I could see Steve coming back, but because he's third party right now, and because it's Microsoft, I'm going to say no for now, because I just don't know with that landscape. Sephiroth, no. It's Square Enix. They're very, very hard to work with. Pyromithra, I'm actually going to use this picture. Yes. I don't see why not. Nintendo one. Kazuya, nope. Well, he is Namco, so that again depends. I think Pac-Man's more likely to come back than Kaz. But again, if it's Namco, then yes, he has a higher shot. If it's not, no. Sora, definitely not. And then the group of me's, they go in there. So this is what who I think is coming back, basically. And as you can see, a lot of who I've taken out here are third parties or characters that are echoes or who I think are going to be replaced. Dr. Mario, I love Dr. Mario, don't see him coming back. Pichu, I think Pikachu's more popular, but I love Pichu. Lucina, I think at this point, I think they would rather have other Fire Emblem characters, unless they just literally make her a swap for Marth. Young Link, would love to see come stay, but obviously different links potentially might draw from a different one again. We'll probably just have normal, regular Link and Toon Link. Chrom, Chrom's cool, I love Chrom, but it isn't that different and unique, and I think again they're going to move on, same with Lucina, and bring in other Fire Emblem characters. Konami, Snake, yeah, they might well do it, but again, third party. Pokemon Trainer, I think either changes completely, gets different Pokemon, or we just get separate other characters to fill the slots. Same with Lucario, I think we just get new characters for it. Mega Man obviously has a chance, Capcom and all that, but I think they might bring in somebody else from Capcom, or maybe Zero from Mega Man instead. Robin, again, Fire Emblem. Ken and Ryu, would love to see him come back, but third party Capcom. Square, I don't think any of their characters are coming back. They're very hard to work with, or you get one of them, you're not going to get all three. Fire Emblem, these guys, Konami, hopefully they come back. Joker, I just don't see it, but Square Enix, Microsoft might be way more open. Again, they might give other characters up. Terry from SNK, I think he again has a high chance, but third party. Steve it was massive. Steve was really big, probably for a younger audience, and brought some steam over, but yeah, I don't see that. Square Enix, Kaz is Namco, so that all depends on if Namco is making it, and Sora is the whole Disney Square thing, and I think that probably was a minefield to go through, so. But there you have it, that's who I think is returning and who is not returning in the next Smash game. I would love to be wrong, because I really like the roster for Ultimate. Yes, I would like to see other characters brought in and some characters removed, but all in all, like, that game has an incredible roster, and even if you complain about the DLC or like certain newcomers, you still have all the classic characters that you could possibly love in that game. So there you go, there you have it. That's my thoughts on who is returning and who is not returning in the next Smash Brothers game. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked the video, hit like. If you want to see more content like this, then subscribe. Links for Facebook and Twitter will be down below in the description as always. And until next video, I will see you then.